What a crazy last few days it's been with Nintendo, from Directs to Pokemon Presents announced, more leaks, more rumors. So we've got a ton of stuff we got to talk about today. So what's up, Waluigi? Trent from Nintendo. Today we're going to cover everything under the sun, from the Pokemon Presents, the Nintendo Direct that happened, and of course some more information about Nintendo Switch 2, after it sounds like this thing may have actually been delayed internally to 2025. So before we hop into all of this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video so you guys are kept up to date with everything going on here at Nintendo. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button if you enjoy this type of stuff. And without further ado, let's just hop right in. So first up, we're going to talk a little bit more about the Nintendo Direct and this Battlefront game's coming to Nintendo Switch. This is definitely the thing that made the Direct for me. Like, overall, this Nintendo Direct I actually felt was pretty decent for a partner showcase. Yeah, I only need one or two things that are announced that sound pretty fun to me to make it a decent event, and this right here just actually made the entire presents or the Direct for me. So we're getting Battlefront games coming to Nintendo Switch. They'll be releasing on other systems as well. I believe, let's see if I can't remember when it comes out. It's like March 14th, I want to say. But this is going to include online with up to 64 players, it says. That's going to be absolutely crazy. Reliving some of the glory days of back in, I remember playing this thing in elementary and junior high. These things were freaking awesome. So I'm super excited to get my hands back on Battlefront, and being able to play it on Nintendo Switch will be freaking sweet. There's a couple other games that announced as well that sounded fun, like Super Monkey Ball. I remember playing that a lot. Looked like a decent one. Pentiment looks kind of cool in my opinion. It's like a narrative. It's one of those Xbox games coming over. No Hi-Fi Rush, surprisingly, though. That was one that I think a lot of people were expecting that I didn't end up seeing. What else was the Mickey Mouse game was a remake. That was one that I had never really played growing up, but it was one that I definitely remember seeing. So there's a couple of good ones out there. Endless Ocean, I think is what it's called. Looks pretty interesting. I never played that one on the Wii either. Looks like it's a new game coming. So some good stuff from the Direct, but this one, honestly, right here, this one was by far the best thing, was Star Wars Battlefront. So, like I said, though, we got a bunch of other stuff to talk about. That's just the Direct, and I'm sure most of you watched it, so we won't spend too much more time on that. Now we gotta go Pokemon. So Pokemon has announced that there's a Pokemon Presents on February 27th for Pokemon Day, so that's next week. And there's a couple of things leading up into this that make it seem like Johto is coming back, which would be huge. We've talked a little bit about, whether it's Johto, whether it's Black and White. Now it seems that the pendulum has swung back over to Johto, as Pokemon themselves are making a couple of things out there that make it look like we are going to get Johto. So first up, we're getting a Pokeball-shaped Pokemon mass outbreak event for Scarlet and Violet. So here we got a Voltorb, we got Fungus, and Hisuian Voltorb. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck is going on? Why this doesn't have anything to do with Johto? Well, kind of. So all of these, like it says right here, it says it's a Pokeball-shaped Pokemon mass outbreak. Johto is known for the Apricorn balls, your sport balls, your friend balls, your dive balls, stuff like that. This is where you could finally kind of do more with the Pokeballs, was in Scarlet, or in Silver, Gold and Silver. So we haven't had that. That was like that first indication of maybe this is a Johto something, is their emphasis on Pokeballs, because there's a lot of emphasis on Pokeballs in Gold and Silver. I keep saying Scarlet and Violet. Well, it gets even deeper. So if we come over here to Game Rant, they're showing that on this announcement there was a short that Pokemon Company created for the announcement of the Pokemon Presents, and now it's looking like this is actually linked to, right here, Pokemon Gold and Silver. So let's just read this right here. It says, the Pokemon Company's official YouTube channel released a short video teasing the upcoming Pokemon Presents broadcast. As first spotted by Nintendo, the description of the short video on mobile includes a key art for Pokemon Gold, as well as the titles Pokemon Gold and Silver below the games field. However, the mention of Pokemon Gold and Silver only shows up on the mobile version of the YouTube app. So, this is something that, this is either one of two things, really. It's either that Pokemon has gone in and linked Gold and Silver to it, or that YouTube, for whatever reason, has identified this short as being linked to Pokemon Gold and Silver. I would probably more lean towards Pokemon putting it in there, and if they didn't put it in there, they left it in there. So Does this indicate that there is some sort of Pokemon Gold and Silver games coming? I don't know. We can't really, this is all speculation at this point, but from what we're seeing from, this mass outbreak with the Pokeball stuff, to now seeing Gold and Silver in here, we've seen stuff from Riddler Coup that's kind of hinted both at Black and White and at Gold and Silver, so I think it's anybody's guess at this point, but it's very interesting to know, and hopefully, in my opinion, hopefully we are getting something for Johto in Gold and Silver. This would be absolutely huge. And then, now we got to talk about our last little bit of news. We got Nintendo Direct speculation. So this is coming over from Fami Boards. Negro Felipe, and whether you want to believe him or not, I know he was wrong about the Nintendo Direct last week. It ended up being this week. But he typically, I will take everything with a grain of salt. It's all rumor, it's all hearsay until we actually know something. But I have to believe that he has some decent sources. And then potentially everything was just bumped because of the Xbox podcast. Jeff Grubb even saying so much makes me think that he had good information that then became outdated once plans changed. So this is what Necro Felipe had to say over on Fami Boards, though, talking more about what is going on now that we had heard about this delay for Nintendo Switch 2 to 2025. So here is what I've learned or I've heard post Friday. So this is once we heard that the Direct was moved and that the Nintendo Switch 2 is internally delayed to 2025. So he's saying Direct in April, General or Mini, I don't know. Indie World before that, probably March. June for Switch 2 reveal. Everything is in flux always, but I'm feeling good, so eh. So Necro Felipe saying he's hearing some stuff that maybe because of this bump from the Nintendo Switch 2 from 2024 to 2025, maybe we see he's saying he's hearing we're going to see another Nintendo Direct in April, this time focusing on first-party stuff. And then, whether it's a mini or it's a full-on fledged Direct, but it should be first-party stuff is what I'm understanding this to be. And then, an Indie World Showcase probably in March, now that the Switch 2 reveal is not going to be in March, probably as that was what we had heard initially. And then he's saying a Switch 2 reveal in June. So everything kind of always up in flux, though, as he says. So I take everything with a massive grain of salt until we actually know more. But this seems, like it could be an interesting way to go, because Nintendo is going to need to let us know what is going on first-party stuff here soon. The Nintendo Direct was nice today. Like I said, we got some really good stuff with, Star Wars Battlefront. We got some of those Xbox games. Penny's Big Breakaway is another one that looked really fun. Endless Ocean. We actually got an update for Nintendo Switch Online with some third-party games coming over there, like Blast Corps from Rare over on the 64, and a couple of other stuff for the SNES. So there's some stuff to hold us over, I feel like. And once we get to that April slot, though, I think that Nintendo really is going to need to let us know. So the timing on that makes sense to me, especially after what we got today. So we'll have to wait and see, though. But it does look like, maybe we can expect something from Nintendo here in a couple months. But between what we got today, and if we get some awesome news the next week on the Pokemon Presents for maybe Gold and Silver, we might be sitting okay until Switch 2 comes out next year. If Pokemon and Nintendo are able to kind of, forge up the slate of games coming, get everything laid out nice and give us some good information and get us some good games going, they might be able to pull off this 2025 Nintendo Switch 2, but they got to get us there with some good stuff along the way. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below, though. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy the Nintendo Direct today? What do you think about Pokemon Presents? What do you think about this Necro Felipe news, coming out that maybe we see another Direct here in a couple months? Love to hear your guys' thoughts all down below as well. And until next time, catch you later.